Hare Krishna. To all the devotees, please extend my humble obeisances. We welcome you all to this session on demystifying Guru-disciple relationship. Today is our day 4, and we have been having very interesting talks with His Holiness Bhakti Dhira Damodara Swami Maharaj. Today it's going to be our concluding session, and we have a set of very insightful questions. Also, we are going to read few excerpts from a book, Reflections on Harinam Chintamani by His Holiness Bhakti Dhira Swami Maharaj. So kindly stay with us and enjoy the discussion. Let's very warmly and gratefully welcome His Holiness Bhakti Dhira Damodara Maharaj for the session today. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much, Maharaj, for taking out time, your valuable time for the discussion. And all the devotees who have been attending the sessions, they are very much enjoying the talk. A lot of positive feedback. They are very grateful to you for the brilliant answers that you are giving. So let me begin today's discussion with this question. First question, that like in the last session we were discussing on this topic, the spiritual master or the pure devotee of Krishna is responsible for taking the disciple back to Godhead. It's not the institute, it's the Guru who will deliver the disciple, or the pure devotees will deliver the disciple. So if that responsibility is on the shoulder of the spiritual master, then is it that after meeting a pure devotee of Krishna, a bona fide Guru, then a devotee can stay away from ISKCON and be connected to the spiritual master alone and can make progress in spiritual life? Some people may take it in that way or understand it in that way.
Namo Vishnu Pariya Krishna Prithai Krishna Bhakti Dhira Damodara Swami Namaste Krishna Praya Prabhupada Termine Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Bhakti Dhira Namo Vishnu Pariya Krishna Prithai Krishna Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati Gaura Vani Kuchani Meri Visesa Sanya Vardi Prastha Pradesa Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Veladara Sri Vasari Gaura Bhakti Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, we're very happy to be with you again. It's wonderful time. Your question is very beautiful. A spiritual master is not alone. A bona fide, let me put it this way, a bona fide spiritual master, bona fide Guru, not alone. It's not just this jiva that we are dealing with alone. According to Sanatana Goswami in Brihad Bhagavatamrita, the Vaikuntha verses, they are supporting a bona fide Guru, bona fide representative of Christ. They are supporting him visibly and invisibly in his service. We can see that by the testimony of Srila Prabhupada's life. Both devotees and non-devotees testify that what he did was beyond normal. So when we say empowerment, what are we looking at? Extra energy has been invested by who? Superior entities, including the Supreme Lord himself, is supporting a bona fide spiritual master to stand representative. He's representing some people, not ordinary people, pure entities who are 100% interested in our success, in our deliverance. They are supporting such personalities in their service here with us. So while they are here, they're like when you put a mirror before your face, you also see your reflection there. So this Vishnu Master is here, but is there. So they are connected like that. He reflected here to see what is happening here and train devotees and take them back there. While he is doing that, he has to establish organization, because now it's not just one disciple. If there's just one disciple, you don't need a church or a place of gathering or a temple. And because we are dealing with people, so we will need a place. As Prabhupada said it in one of the 7 purposes of ISKCON, to have a place dedicated to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, and to bring people together. So bring all people together under the shelter of Krishna, the Supreme Entity. So we cannot say that the spiritual master has gotten me as a disciple, therefore I'm so special that I don't need to be there. I can connect with my spiritual master directly, and that is all, because he has come to deliver me, and the relationship has already been established. So he will deliver me anyway. That is not our process. It is not the system. The system is that we are brothers and sisters keeper. It is not that we cannot chant Hare Krishna in our house or in a hall like Haridas Chakra's chant in a cave. We can do that. But why do we come together? We need each other's support. Because we also cannot do it alone. So we need each other's support. So we have come together to support each other. Suppose I'm in my room and chanting and I'm sleeping. Who is there to tell me, okay, stand up and walk around and do a job? Nobody going to tell you that, because you are on your own. And in that way, advancement will be very, very difficult, very slow. In fact, it's not possible. Because our success in Krishna consciousness requires the blessing, the support, and assistance of other practitioners. That is how we come together, so that the energy, the divine energy which is flowing, will continue to flow through all of us and support us and guide us and keep us on our track. So we cannot do it alone. And nobody should attempt to do that alone, except you are Haridas Thakur. If you are Haridas Thakur, then you can do that. Even Haridas Thakur, he has association with Advaita Acharya Goswami. He had association with Lord Nityananda. They were going Sankirtan together. They were Haridas Thakur and Lord Nityananda, people were the first Sankirtan devotees in ISKCON. So why they didn't go separately? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sent them together. And they were going together, and they come back together to give report of the Sankirtan activities for the day. So we should not go outside our process. In fact, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, there is this verse in the 2nd canto, Sukadeva Goswami is speaking. Etam dirvidiyam ananam ichatam akoto bayam. Yoginam nirpandirindritam. Hare nama anukirtana. Hare nama anukirtana. Sukadeva Goswami is speaking to Maharaj Parishad, of course, he's speaking to all of us. He's saying this slogan, that the process of Krishna consciousness, which is by chanting the holy name of Krishna, is the doubtless and fearless process for all persons. Those who are free from material desires, those who are full of material desires, and those who are seeking for liberation. And he said, Hare Nama Anukirtanam, we have to practice this process after the ways of the acharyas. by following our chariots, not on our own, not individually. We cannot make it. So, Guru is not alone. Guru has people who are supporting him from above. We also have the disciples who are supporting him from below. Below means that all the disciples are the limbs of the spiritual master. Just like we are the separated part of Krishna. So we are different part of Krishna energy expansions. The same system with the spiritual master. We are different limbs of the spiritual master, and the part has to unite with the whole to make us successful. Therefore, we cannot do it alone. We have to serve the spiritual master in association with other God brothers and God sisters. And because we are many, it will be classified. To be classified. Either you call it a Gaudiya Math, or you call it ISKCON International Society for Christian Consciousness, or you call it Hare Krishna Movement, or you call it any mission. Any mission. It must be organization, because we need to be organized.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. That analogy was very beautiful. Like all the jivas are parts and parcels of Krishna. The disciples are parts of the different limbs of the body of spiritual master. So they all work together. And to be connected to the spiritual master means to be connected to other disciples of the spiritual master, to be connected to the God brothers and God sisters of the spiritual master, to be connected to the entire parampara. So my question was basically brought because I wanted to get the attention to this topic, that generally there are two kinds of people. One of them, they think that one has to be only attached to the guru and one doesn't need the institute is God. And there are another category of people who are only institute oriented and they're not so much interested in being very submissive and obedient to the personal spiritual master. But what I understand from your answer is we have to have a balanced and harmonious approach, and one has to be loyal to the institute as well as to the personal spiritual master, because
Yes.
both are important.
Yes. The house is not important, but the house is important because it has to house some personalities and entities, persons. So the organization, the movement is important because it keeps us together. We have, when you say a community, the idea is what? People who have the same kind of mindset. They will like the same food, prasadam. We like the same scripture, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, that scripture. We like a certain kind of mantra, the Hare Krishna mantra, and all the Vedic mantras which are there. So it's a community, and we are one. But the society for this community for chanting Hare Krishna started 1965. It is not Krishna consciousness that is starting 1965. Krishna consciousness is there eternally, and as Papa said, dormant in all living entities. But the society which is promoting the revival of this consciousness is ISKCON. So ISKCON is important for us, but who is ISKCON? Cannot appoint somebody as an ISKCON. We make the ISKCON. With the practitioner, we make it. So it's important because it keeps us together. But we cannot forget the consciousness of Krishna and just depend on institution alone. We will not succeed because the society is not going to take us back to Godhead. But when we practice in this society, we take us back to Godhead.
Very clear, Maharaj. Thank you so much. Now let's move to our second question. It's related to, let's say if there is a misunderstanding between a spiritual master and a disciple, then if the disciple is not able to directly interact with the spiritual master to sort out the misunderstanding, in that situation, what can the disciple do to make the relationship better?
Yes. If a disciple has misunderstanding and the disciple is Maybe he is wrong or the guru is wrong. Whoever is wrong, let's say the disciple is wrong. Let's say the disciple is, I would say both sides. If the disciple is wrong and he fully cannot understand, if you want to rectify, we have a system, we have a process. It is better, just like Indra did. Lord Indra knew he offended Lord Krishna seriously, and it was grievous. So he knew the politics. I should not go myself alone because it is too shameful for him to come before Krishna. And where will he start to speak from? Seeing the gravity of the offense he committed. So he has to go to somebody who is a favorite of Krishna, Surabi. And because the favorite of Krishna, Surabi, came in, the matter was resolved peacefully, very easily, very satisfactorily. So a disciple should go to another disciple or senior person who can advise him or her where he has gone wrong and rectify that. That is very important, because for me, I'm sensitive. Just like a disciple is expecting something from the spiritual master. The spiritual master is expecting also a kind of behavior, a kind of understanding from the disciples. It's not only one-sided, it is both sides. So the disciple should go to somebody who can explain to him or her where he or she has gone wrong and rectify them. Then you can approach the spiritual master with a good mentality, it will be resolved. And if it is a spiritual master that is having the problem, still this is also the disciple should go to the senior godbrother of his or her guru and explain everything, so that the godbrother or god sister of your spiritual master can also let him understand where he or she is going wrong. And then when that is rectified, then everything will be resolved. This is the way we should go about it. And I'm sure that if the spiritual master is actually bona fide, the disciple has genuinely repented, and feel remorse about it, he should be happy to resolve it and forgive whatever the disciple has done, and come in and let the relationship continue. Except if he's not a bona fide person, he can continue to keep the grudge. But I'm sure if it's a bona fide person, he will accept that.
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you, Maharaj. Maharaj, just in connection to this, I'll bring up another short question, which was from a devotee, Venkatesh Prabhu. He asked on Facebook Live in the previous session, is it possible that a guru and a disciple can have sometimes differences of opinion on the same subject matter? Or is it like the disciple should always have the same opinion as the guru, cannot have a difference of opinion?
Yes, because we are human beings. We are human beings. We have different nature. We have different nature, so it will manifest. It will manifest sometimes. That for example, Srila Prabhupada wanted his Juhu temple. That was a jungle that time. And the disciple wanted the temple at Akash building, because it was many people are there and the elite. So it's easy to preach Krishna consciousness. That's our target. The disciples were pointing hand there. Prabhupada was pointing hand to the bush. so it was difficult for disciples. What are we going to do in the bush? Why we have so many people to preach here? So they couldn't understand why Prabhupada is pointing hand to the bush. But today, can we call it bush? Millions of people are keen to take darshan of Sri Radha Rasbihari now. Like queue every year people are queuing Janmasami. Thousands of people, they're on the queue to just one man activity. So the difference is there. But it was resolved because the disciples should be loyal to the spiritual master. Because even if you don't understand, we should follow the spiritual master. The clarification would manifest later on, like the Jew case. The clarification becomes manifested after some time. Now everybody can say, "Oh, great, 5-star hotel in the jungle, 5-star building in the jungle." Today, nobody can say it's a jungle. Now it's a city. It's a city. Like millions of people are then coming to the temple every day. Thousands of people are coming to the taking prasadam every day. Just see the vision of one person. And apart from that, look at the trouble that the devotee passed through. Heavy court cases, and then police and scorpions and snakes and mosquitoes. But nobody talk about those things. Nobody remember those things these days. What we remember now is rather Ras Bihari and the gorgeous temple and facilities and the prasadam and the resounding kirtan. That is what we remember now. So yes, sometimes it happens like that we have a different opinion, especially when we have a different opinion, but should be reconciled. Because Prabhupada said, if it is the same Krishna, then there shouldn't be any quarrel. Only if we are leaning towards material things, then there will be difficulty. If we're not leaning towards material things, we're leaning towards Krishna. The challenges become Krishna conscious challenge for better service, for better understanding of each other, and for for more empowerment, so we can do something more powerful.
Yes, Maharaj. That is actually a very wonderful statement by you, Maharaj, that there might be differences of opinion, but if both the parties are pure, then there is always a chance of reconciliation if it is Krishna consciousness. And it's more of kind of a spiritual drama. The differences of opinion is just kind of a play in Krishna's preaching pastime on the planet. So now, one another question, Maharaj, from the same devotee. He's saying, if Shastras, they advise us that we should hear from pure devotees only, and most of the times we don't really get that opportunity because, let's say, there's a class happening in the temple or in any place, and the speaker may not be a pure devotee. So, in that situation, what should be done?
I know that, sincerely speaking, I know that this is a big contamination in our movement. It's a big contamination. When we look at the Srila Prabhupada's direction, we are deviating. Let me be sincere to myself. We are actually deviating. Srila Prabhupada said, this is Bhagavatam 115 purport. 115 purport. No one dare to sit on answer sign if he's not spotless in character. One who is not free from the vices, no illicit sex, no gambling, no intoxication, no flesh eating, should never be allowed to sit on an answer. But today we are doing that. We are pointing people to sit there, even when we know that they are not spotless in their character. They are not. So many people are not chanting sincerely. They are giving like classes, having big programs, and making pravachan, traveling and speaking by water. Or they are kirtanias. They don't chant Sikshiran, but they're kirtanias. We are seeing this thing happening regularly. Otherwise, according to Srila Prabhupada's standard, one should be spotless in character. And that was the reason why the sages on Namisharanya appointed Sutta Goswami to speak to them. They said, you have character. That's a qualification to speak to us, is that you have character. You have blessing from your spiritual master. All the spiritual masters have blessed you. Why? Because you are very submissive. You are loyal. You have all the submissive quality to get the blessing from the spiritual master. And above that, we have had the very wonderful experience by knowing what all other acharyas other scripture. You know all other scriptures, and you know something that other processes, other child did not know. This is your exceptional quality, and for that we have accepted you to speak to us. In that assembly, there are personalities like Bharadwaj. He is a Kulapani. Sona Karishi himself, who is a master of ceremony, is Kulapani. Kulapani means they have 60,000 disciples who are all sages. That's the qualification. That's the title. But Sridhar Goswami did not have that. What he had is his purity, the blessing he has gotten from his spiritual master. Of all the boons, or the boons which we are expecting, or we may get from demigod, or from sages, or from our spiritual master, or from Krishna, the best, especially for Krishna, the best blessing we should get from the spiritual master, from Krishna, is their causeless mercy, their mercy. Because if we have their mercy, we can do anything, everything. So Sridhar Goswami got that, and the sages will see that. Therefore, they accepted him to speak to us, and Prabhupada constantly repeated in his lectures, in a purport, we should not hear from professional reciters. We should hear from the bona fide sources. We should hear from bona fide representatives. Bona fide sources, Prabhupada used the word constantly. Bona fide sources means what? It does not necessarily mean one who is already Uttam Bhakta, but one who is fully Uttam Bhakta is also bona fide. One who is following our charya sincerely, even though that devotee has not come to that Uttam platform yet, but because he's following Uttam Bhaktas carefully, nicely, sincerely, he is also an Uttam in progress. He's an Uttam Bhakta in progress. And if we follow such devotee, we will not make mistake. We will also meet to the goal, because he is on the way. But when we appoint devotees who are not in that platform, they're not making any effort to be, we're already satisfied in our nearby situation. And we sit on asana, we are not going to speak what is in the verse. We are going to speak something completely outside the verse, completely outside the purport. To sit in that class is very dangerous. So this is this is not an order. It's not my own sampradaya or something. But what I do in that case, because you are in a movement, I will have to hear. When such a class is going on, I do listen very carefully to the translation and then to the proper purport. That is my security. I listen attentively to the translation of the verse, and listen to the purport of the Prabhupada. That becomes my purification. That becomes my hearing for that day, for that lecture. I will listen to them and listen to them. So even if someone is speaking something outside, I will not feel contaminated by that, and I will not be disturbed again, because I have already gotten the essence of that verse and the purport of the Prabhupada. So I feel protected in this way, and I feel confident, because when a movement, we have to use our intelligence so that we don't create unnecessary disturbance. Intelligence has already been given to us, so we have to know how to use it. So use it in this way. Hear the translation very nicely, and hear the purport of the Prabhupada very nicely. We are covered.
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you, Maharaj. And if the devotee is sincere, then the devotee will come to know whether the speaker is speaking in a proper way or not. So
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, Maharaj. Maharaj, one more question. how to overcome the tendency to find a false in guru, like especially for those who are very closely serving the spiritual master or very closely dealing with the spiritual master on day-to-day basis. So if the spiritual master allows the disciples to come close, is very friendly, then in that situation, how can one overcome this tendency of finding faults, which is naturally there in a conditioned soul?
Very good question. I have seen from beginning from Srila Prabhupada, because as the closest acharya we know before our own spiritual master. Other acharya we don't have much. It is some stories we hear, that's different. But what I've experienced, majority of the servant of Srila Prabhupada will have problem, because they become familiar. Especially more dangerous are those spiritual masters who are very humble, who treat the spiritual master, who treat the disciple friendly, not who are tyrants. The spiritual master who are tyrants, they treat disciples like slaves. You stupid, useless, sit down there and listen to me. The guru has to be heavy, so I'm heavy on my disciples so they can get rectified. It's kind of a dangerous understanding of the terminology we use in our this thing is very, very disruptive and dangerous. Guru has to be heavy, so I'm heavy. And we can blast unnecessarily waste time. So in that case, people will relate with the spiritual master with the fear. And everything, all their services will be contaminated, because there's no love inside. It is all based on fear. The disciple will not benefit much if you have such a fight spiritual master. But in a situation where you have a pure devotee disciple, pure devotee guru who treat disciples friendly, the devotees should be very, very, very careful in that case. Very careful. I see the same thing with my spiritual master. All his secretaries who were serving him, they all had difficulties. So, personally, I'll tell you my own secret. Because I was seeing this thing with God brothers, and they are superior to me. So, when it was my turn to do that service, to serve my spiritual master, before he comes, I'll be praying seriously. Gurudev, you know that I am not a strong devotee. I know my mentality is so contaminated. I can easily make any offense. Please don't take my offenses seriously, because this is my nature and I know myself. Please, Gurudev, help me that I don't fall from here, because if I fall from here, I don't have another place to go. I don't have any place to go. I'm useless there. I'm also useless here. But here you can rectify me. Therefore, I want to stay here. So help me to tolerate my nonsense and help me so I can get purified by the little service you give to me that I will do here. I constantly pray like this regularly before he comes. And when he comes, when I'm doing all those things, I pray seriously, and he knows that I was really praying, and he answered me. This is my security. And he knows, actually he was telling one devotee that when I do something wrong, I should even know it myself before somebody tells me, and I'll be feeling bad about it. It's a very good sign. He told a God brother like this, and the God brother also came to tell me that this is how Gurudev feels about you. And when you do something wrong, you know it, and you feel very sorry and bad about it, and begging for forgiveness. It's a good mentality. So I pray that all of us can maintain the same mentality. We can maintain the same mentality, that we know our boundaries. We should know our boundaries. That We should not take this relationship very cheaply. We shouldn't take the relationship between the person and the disciple very cheaply. We shouldn't take it cheaply. I'm repeating, because it's very, very, very dangerous. In a Mahabharata, the person between King Virat and 𝐾𝐻𝐚𝐤𝐿. 𝐾𝐻𝐚𝐤𝐿 is the commander-in-chief of Virat Maharaj's armed forces. And 𝐾𝐻𝐚𝐤𝐿 is very strong. He was having the strength of 10,000 elephants. The only second person to him at that time is Bhimsena. Nobody was equal to him. And because position is an intoxicant when you fight the body. It's an intoxicant. Money is an intoxicant. Beauty is an intoxicant. False ego, position, and prestige is an intoxicant. Money, power is an intoxicant. All these fame is an intoxicant. All these things are intoxicant. They intoxicate, especially when you fight the body. So 𝐾𝐻𝐚𝐤𝐿 was very proud of his strength, because anywhere King Virat goes and win the battle, it is 𝐾𝐻𝐚𝐤𝐿, his general, who does that, the fighting and defeat. She was very proud. When the Pandavas were staying there for the remaining part of their exile, 𝐾𝐻𝐚𝐤𝐿 became attracted to Draupadi, and he was trying to lure her. And Draupadi told him, I am married. And he, see all those men there, my husband is there. And they are not ordinary Jewish people. They are very high personalities. So please, don't look for me. But 𝐾𝐻𝐚𝐤𝐿 was already intoxicated by her beauty and intoxicated by his own strength. And which is also part of the Kshatriyas. Kshatriyas are proud. They don't beg, they command. So Draupadi telling him that she is married and her husband is not ordinary human being. 𝐾𝐻𝐚𝐤𝐿 couldn't hear that. Who is that? Who is that will challenge me? In the whole world, nobody is equal to me. So if I need you have to come to me. And Draupadi said, no, please. No, I'm married and I cannot. So 𝐾𝐻𝐚𝐤𝐿 became very disturbed one day and wanted to hold her. She ran. 𝐾𝐻𝐚𝐤𝐿 followed her. She ran to the king. And from the back, he kicked her, so she fell before King Virat. King Virat didn't say anything because he knows the strength of his command. He didn't say anything. Just like this thing happened to Draupadi before. It's the second time it's happening. The Dushasan wanted to make her in the public. Nobody, all the general were there, nobody do anything to her. It's the second time again, 𝐾𝐻𝐚𝐤𝐿 is doing the same thing to her. Kick her, she fell down before the king. The king also didn't do it. So when next time she came to serve a 𝐾𝐻𝐚𝐤𝐿 food, he rebuked her. Don't you see? When I kick you, fell before the king, he didn't do anything. You're a fool. Can't you see that nobody can do me anything? You better come to me and save your life. You're a fool. Don't. Next time, I'll kill you. So Draupadi went and told the Sena, see what happened. Hey, he's already angry. And this infuriated him the most. You kick my wife? Because you are what? Bhimsena told her, okay, go and tell him that you will meet him by so time. So she went back and told him that, now I've agreed, so you can have it. So, by the time I'll be ready. So where So we meet. She said, yeah, you come to a social place. It's okay. So she went back and told Bhimsena. So Bhimsena dressed himself in sari, took her sari and dressed himself as a sari. I went and lay down in the bed, waiting, and was breathing heavily like a snake that been trampled upon by death. So 𝐾𝐻𝐸𝐵 came there, coming to enjoy. He didn't know he was coming to be killed. So he came there and met. Came there, he started speaking some lusty words to her, and he came and started to massage. When he told you, this is not a woman, this is iron. Immediately, Bhimsena just removed the sari. He said, what did you do to my wife? What did you do to my wife? Did you tell good my wife? So then 𝐾𝐻𝐸𝐵 knew it's a Saturday. He knew, no, it's a Saturday. It's not, more segregation. So they gave each other a club. They fought. Bhimsena killed him. Yesterday we said Bhimsena ground all the bones in his body. Everything became long. Just a lump of flesh. Everything, there's no question of bone again. Being grounded, you can imagine what the level of his anger. He killed him and made him a lump of flesh and dropped him there and went away. The footnote, after this person, there's a footnote on this person. One should be careful with the king. One should be careful with the king. One should not be too familiar. One should not be too close to the king, Raja, Maharaja. The spiritual master, one should be very careful with him. One should be careful with the senior king like this, because it is said familiarity breeds contempt. That is true. And I have severally mentioned, it is very risky for a neophyte devotee to be too close to a spiritual master. This I have said many times. Why? Because it is very easy for a neophyte devotee to offend anybody, especially pure devotees. Yes, the scripture recommends we should have association of sadhu. Yes, we should have association of sadhu, but we should be careful not to make offense to the sadhu. If you send a neophyte disciple to be too close to the spiritual master, you're going to make a lot of offenses. Therefore, we should know our boundaries. And to know our boundaries, it is very important for us to seriously pray for mercy. We should pray for mercy. Please protect me from my neophyte position, that I easily make offense. I easily make offense because of my low nature. But Lord, protect me. It is not deliberate. It's not deliberate. It is my weak nature. But I have to be in this way. Please just protect me. Brahma prayed to Krishna. The child is in the womb of the mother. The baby will kick the mother inside the womb, but the mother doesn't get offended by that. This is my situation. I am, you are 𝐤𝐢𝐳𝐝𝐵 Visnu, and everything is in the womb. I am also, all of us were inside the womb of the 𝐤𝐢𝐳𝐝𝐵 Visnu, and all the nonsense thing we are doing by kicking the Lord. As our mother, the mother tolerates. So in the same way, I'm begging you to please tolerate me and just help me so I can become a devotee. This is my security. You are costless mercy. This is my security. This is my shelter. If we maintain this mentality, we'll be protected. We are saved. Because the spiritual master knows we are not just whimsical. We are not deliberately making offenses. We are very, very very low in our nature, and because of that, we are forced to do certain offenses. That's this. The devotees say, knowingly or unknowingly. I didn't know that I'm doing such an offense, and we should be ready for rectification. We should be ready. Like when we are corrected, we should take it and feel very sorry and beg for forgiveness. This is our security, from my own personal experience.
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Very elaborate answer. And always, anytime you speak about that pastime of Kichaka, it's so interesting, so dramatic. Thank you, Maharaj. So one more question from Venkatesh Prabhu. The question is, if a devotee was aspiring initiation from some spiritual master, but then that spiritual master said that now I am no longer interested in giving Diksha, I am only interested in giving Siksha. So you can take Diksha from some other spiritual master. But in that case, if the devotee feels, I can take initiation from another spiritual master, but my primary Siksha Guru is going to be the previous person only with whom I wanted to take initiation. So is that the right approach or the right attitude? How it should be?
It is, in this situation, we have to handle it carefully so we don't become offensive. So we don't minimize. If the spiritual master said, no, I am not giving Diksha again, I can give it Diksha or not Diksha. So we can take Diksha from somebody and take Siksha from him, but we should have respect for both. Not that it's a game. Let me go and take initiation there and then come and stay with you and get everything. I just did that as a formality, but actually I don't want him to be my guru. The only guru I have is the Siksha. That would become offensive. But if we do it naturally, if both of them are qualified pure devotees, and I have respect for both of them, because the scripture recommend that the Siksha and the Diksha Guru, they're the same. They're the same because both of them are bona fide. Because both of them are bona fide, they can also give us fellowship of Godhead, especially for the one we depend more upon. So in that case, we respect both of them. We pay due respect to all, and we serve them equally because of their exalted position. And yes, I know that he had given me Diksha, and I'm getting Siksha from here. But because two of them are correct, I'm more familiar and more attuned to this person. Our nature goes very well together, and I'm making advancement in that way. There's nothing wrong with that. We should do that. We should go ahead, but we should do it in such a way we don't become offensive. So you have to respect for both of them. If you do that, it's good. We'll make advancement. There's nothing wrong with
that. Thank you, Maharaj. And I think we have our last question for today. It's from Aishwarya Prabhu from YouTube. His question is, what is the correct understanding of this verse, Shakshat Dharitvena Samasta Shastre? In some places it is written that the Guru is mercy incarnation, and in other places it is said that the Guru is confidential representative. So which one is correct, or are both correct?
Yes, both of them are correct. And when you say Shakshat, we are talking about the first class pure devotee. Shakshat means directly it's an expansion of super soul. So his instruction, or a bona fide spiritual master is directly represented. And whatever the spiritual master tells us, that is the dictation from the super soul. So if you disobey that spiritual master, we are automatically disobeying the super soul, which is dangerous. So we say the Shakshat, directly the expansion. The super soul in the heart has come out in this form as a spiritual master I can identify with. So both translation is perfect because one word has many meanings for proper understanding, and we can apply them according to the present circumstance, the situation that we're in, or the feeling that what you have at that time. It will express something based on the particular feeling that what you was having at that time. But the mood the special master is in at that time. He will explain the situation that way, according to the audience and a particular situation. He can explain one word to suit that situation by using the same word. I can use the same word in a different circumstances that also fit that situation. Both of them are correct. It depends on the circumstances, the situation that they have to be applied in that way. So the Sushama Master's position is unique, that he is representing the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he is directly the expansion, or his direct expansion is that he is empowered by the Super Soul to represent him. Both ways are bona fide and are correct. And in whichever way they are, we should take full advantage by giving ourselves to them. We should hear them attentively, take the instruction to the heart. Very beautiful the understanding we are reflecting on in Bhagavad Gita 240 purport. Yeba say Ameka Buddhi 41. Very beautiful meditation or vision Acharyas are given. And Madhusudana Visnu Prabhu put it there. Very beautiful. So we're repeating it. We're repeating that with the Bodhisattva students so that we can have a clear understanding the attitude a bona fide disciple should have with a bona fide spiritual master. Very powerful statement. Very beautiful, very sweet. So I was repeating it, and taking some word out of it, and repeating it. So that it can go down into us and give us a vision that will help us to become successful in our Christian consciousness. Our chariots are very powerful. And the other day we were also discussing the quality of a bona fide disciple. The mentality is very, very sweet. The mentality, the mood the bona fide disciple keep, so sweet, so bona fide. Because that is the beauty of Christian consciousness. Christian is beautiful. And all his activities are so sweet, so beautiful. The words of our child are so sweet because they're coming from the sweetheart. So sweet and very pleasing. They are the balm for the troubled heart and also for the peaceful heart.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so much, Maharaj. It's 5:30 now. Generally, we end at this time. So I wish to know from you. I have 2 excerpts from the book, Harinam Chintamani, reflections on that book, but they are a bit long. So if you say we can have a separate class on that topic itself, two excerpts from the book, it may take some time for reading it and explaining it. Or if you say we can quickly go through it now also, I can just read a few lines from it and we can.
Yes, let's go into it. Since we're on it, let's go into it.
Okay, Maharaj. So I'll share the screen. Just a second, Maharaj.
No problem.
Yes, Maharaj. Maharaj, are you able to see the screen?
Yes, I'm seeing it.
Okay.
I'm
So
seeing it.
shall I read, Maharaj?
Yes.
Fine. So I'll start from where I've marked it yellow.
Yes.
Jai Gopal was ostracized by Lord Nityanand Prabhu's son, Srila Veerbhadra Goswami, who was an incarnation of Lord Vishnu himself. Jai Gopal obtained a high education. His guru was illiterate. He was ashamed of him, so he told people his Param Guru was his guru. Srila Veerbhadra sent a letter to Srila Srinivas that he and other Vaishnavas should not speak to Jai Gopal, for he was a great offender. One who does this, as Jai Gopal, transgresses the mercy of the disciplic succession. So this is a case which His Holiness Bhakti Dhira Swami Maharaj is studying now. So in regards to this, he has written a few paragraphs. In this case, Jai Gopal tried to jump over his own guru to his Param Guru. Srila Veerbhadra, who was actually an incarnation of Lord Vishnu, then instructed the Vaishnava community to avoid Jai Gopal because of his great offense. Krishna consciousness is very unique in comparison to orthodox religiosity and spirituality due to its emphasis on the guru disciple relationship. A person does not necessarily need a guru to obtain bhakti, mukti, or siddhis, but if he or she wants bhakti, the person must come through the spiritual master. Krishna himself has made the arrangement for us to come to him, so we must come through the door that Krishna gives us. It is ultimately all about Krishna. Since he tells us to approach him through the spiritual master, we honor the position of the guru. Without Krishna's instruction, we would not need to focus so much attention on the Guru. But because Krishna made this arrangement, we take the Guru's instructions as our life and soul. Since Krishna tells us to approach him through a bona fide spiritual master, we must realize that he will not accept us unless we come to him in this way. There are three more paragraphs, Maharaj. So should I read them all and then you will explain them, or you will first like to cover these three paragraphs which I read now?
Yes, I think let's look at this.
Okay. Okay, Maharaj.
So this morning we are discussing from Chaitanya Charitamrita, and there is a verse from Katu Upanishad where Krishna mentioned that he personally select the devotees whom he had decided to take back from back to God. He does that himself. And how does he do that? What is our qualification? What is the medium by which Krishna does that? He has, we are all his children, and majority of us are let's say so. See a few compared to the whole universe, the living entities. There are so many billions of human beings are here. After the 8 billion, 9 billion, I don't know, present population. Out of the 9 billion or 8 or 9 billions of people, a few millions have taken to Christian consciousness, the chanting around and keeping the revolutionary principles. And we are all his children. And it is the same him who has given this opportunity for us to come to him. We don't know about him, Krishna. After we left him, we forgot completely about him. We don't know about his Prabhupada, his pure devotees, and all other pure devotees. We don't know them. We don't know anything about the Krishna consciousness. So for him, Krishna, for his representatives, and for the movement of knowing him, and all the literatures, they are all given by him, his costless mercy. And millions of us are trying to follow this. So what criteria, what measure does Krishna use in selecting, okay, you will come to me now, okay, you come to me, and others who have been practicing the same thing for many years? You can say here, and later I will come and take. How do Krishna do this? How did he do this? What is the process of doing this? Does he do it okay, you were born in Brishni family, or you are born in a Yadu family, that should take you. And also, if you are born in Malaysia, so so I will live here for other million years. No. A Christian has given us, like Gurudev is written here, quoting this devotee. The spiritual masters are the representative of Krishna, Jai Gopal. The spiritual master or spiritual masters, they are representative of Krishna. And their duty is to teach us the sadhana. Sadhana is the process. So we need sadhana. Who is going to show us the sadhana? Is the spiritual master. And as Gurudev mentioned here, it is Krishna who personally recommends we should go to the spiritual master. Why should we go to the spiritual master? For discipline. So you say disciple. The word disciple comes from discipline. A disciple denotes the idea of disciplining a soul. For what? To get all our maladies, our madness, our nonsense to be completely removed. The spiritual master has the responsibility to do that through the process of sadhana. So by sadhana, we will qualify ourselves by sadhana, by the mercy of the spiritual master. Even while we are doing the sadhana, the spiritual master's mercy is there, guiding from the heart. You see, we are chanting Harakesa. Not that spiritual master is going to chant Sisiran for you, or he's going to read the scripture for you, or he's going to take prasadam for you. So then I can. What is the mercy of Guru here? What is the mercy of Guru here? I'm the one doing everything. What is the mercy of Guru here? One can ask, I don't see what is the mercy, costly mercy of Guru. Do I really need a Guru here? I'm chanting Sisiran, and if I chant of I'm not going to make advancement. So what is a Guru here? Yes, a Guru is here because a Guru look upon us like a parent looking upon the children with mercy. Is that mercy is our strength to do our Christian consciousness, to do the teaching which are given to us by the spiritual master. The mercy is also there because he loves us, he cares for us, he wants our welfare. That feeling, he transfers it to us. That helps us to understand our Christian consciousness. It helps us to practice very nicely, seriously. It helps us also to understand, yes, we need this kind of approach in this Christian consciousness. That sadhana is a mercy of the spiritual master. And that sadhana will make us purified and ornament us, that will become attractive, that Krishna will see us and select, now you come back to me. So a spiritual master is risking, he's taking a lot of risk to do that. It's risky business. Position of spiritual master, bona fide spiritual master. This is my vision. It's a risky position, not a position to go and enjoy, that you get the thousands of people offer you obeisances. That is not being a spiritual master. It is more than that. You're going to give the first Mahaprasadam plate in some places. You're going to Jai Guru. That all these things are completely different. The main business of a spiritual master is that he's taking risk in dealing with mad people, to get us rectified, to be able to understand what we're supposed to know, which we're not doing, and start doing it. How do we do that? The spiritual master is responsible for that, and he's doing that on behalf of Krishna. Therefore, Krishna is very, 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 very careful. So that we should not check about it, Chakora mentioned. And Prema Samput is one of his books, Prema Samput. The mercy of Krishna is not with Krishna. The mercy of Krishna is with devotees of Krishna, the pure devotees of Krishna. And Lord Nityananda Prabhu confirmed that. When he was traveling in Chaitanya Bhagavat, when he was traveling visiting holy places, he said, everywhere he has visited, all the temples he has visited, he found no Krishna there. The temple were empty, although the deities are there and people were there. Only Nityananda Prabhu said wherever he has visited, he found the old places empty. Until the day he met his spiritual master, Sri Vrindavan Das, Sri Madhavendra Puri. It is the day he met Madhavendra Puri that he can realize that, yes, the trouble I took my journey, all the trouble I took in my journey in my pilgrimage has become a success today by my meeting you. And both of them appreciating this, they're appreciating this jewel. They're appreciating this understanding when both of them fainted unconscious for some time and embraced each other very tightly. So the mercy of Krishna is with pure devotees of Krishna. I think that is also confirmed in Mahabharata. The famous verse he used to quote. He used to quote only 2 lines, but the remaining lines is silent. The truth, the absolute, the unadulterated truth is residing in the heart of unadulterated pure devotees of Krishna, or devotees of Krishna. Therefore, to minimize that kind of to minimize such devotees is very, very risky. Our system is not by scholarship. Our system is by purity. Prabhupada said, purity is the force. That is the force. And whoever is carrying that divinity, it doesn't matter if it's a child. Like 𝐶ukadeva Goswami. 𝐶ukadeva Goswami, when he spoke, his grand spiritual master was there. And the body was there. Lord Shiva was there. His father was there. But he has that responsibility, and not of them despise him. Everyone gave him the full respect because they know his position. And the miracle was performed, and everybody rejoiced and celebrated it today. And we are fortunate to have the remnant of Srimad Bhagavatam of Parashat Maharaj, spoken by 𝐶ukadeva Goswami. We are enjoying that. So this is the position of a spiritual master. And we will do ourselves good if we don't respect them, but we follow them very sincerely. That will be our success. So here, Dhira Goswami is teaching, is showing the example. A devotee who does like this should be rejected, and it should not be accepted because he's distributing impersonalism, he's distributing voidism, he's distributing upper sampradaya.
Thank you, Maharaj, for the beautiful elucidation. Should I read on, Maharaj, a few more paragraphs?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So, as we endeavor to become more serious, we can ask Krishna for more guidance and facilitation, which will ultimately come. If a disciple is serious, he or she will receive all the necessary help from Krishna to sadhu, shastra, and guru. If a disciple is very serious, Krishna will work through a particular connection to help the devotee beyond the immediate power or knowledge of the guru. Krishna may also assist such a devotee by coming through the guru's essence or presence in order to give that soul the necessary guidance or assistance. On the other hand, a guru can even take shelter of an Uttamadhikari, but if the disciple is not serious, he or she will still miss out. Ultimately, we have to work on ourselves in spite of our guru's level of advancement.
Yes, it's a very, very powerful point. Because I don't know what you guys have said, because Gurudev has said it here. Our process is so powerful, so sweet, so wonderful process that if a disciple is serious by by the connection we have in this moment. Like I mentioned before, our Guru is not alone, it's not only one person. There are many people supporting him, and those people will also support us. As Krishna said, in Bhagavatam I quoted this morning, Krishna was telling Indubhasamuni, not only my devotees are dear to me, the devotees of my devotees are very, very dear to me. So it is true that sometimes Krishna can give something to a disciple before the Guru comes to know about it. If the disciple is trying his or her best, very nicely, very sincerely, it will happen. So we should really work on ourselves and follow the spiritual master very, very, very sincerely, very nicely. The Krishna will take it upon, even if they are our spiritual master at the time, in order to turn back that will not affect us. We can still make advancements in our Christian consciousness if we follow very nicely.
Thank you, Maharaj. I'll read further, Maharaj. Some devotees are intensely seeking the shelter of a Mahabhagavad, which is wonderful. Although such a connection will not necessarily lead to an easier connection in Krishna consciousness. Actually, such a powerful connection can even place the devotee in a dangerous position if he or she makes offenses in the proximity of such an elevated soul. If we abuse Krishna's mercy and kindness, when he gives us such opportunities, we will suffer greater consequences. The main point is that we still have to work on ourselves.
It's very important. A very, very powerful statement, which we have mentioned many times. As we are looking for a bona fide spiritual master, we also should be a bona fide disciple. And as the pure devotee position is, if the devotee is 100% pure, 100%, Anuttama Bhakta, the offense we make to that devotee also will get back the result 100%. So as it is wonderful to have such a pure devotee as our Guru, as our Acharya, as our leader, it is also dangerous. We'll give example of Tichaka and what happened to him. So it is very, very important that we should understand this point. Not only to look for a bona fide Guru, we should also try to be bona fide disciple. Then everything will work perfectly. Everything. Look at Sukadeva Goswami, look at Pariksit Maharaj. Look at Arjuna, look at the Lord Krishna. Look at Srisvatana Goswami, look at the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Just see what happened. Just see what happened. The transformation that took place, the miracle that took place. Madhavendra Puri, Ishwara Puri, non-Nitanina Prabhadvata. So look at what happened. Then we should not forget to look at Ramachandra Puri. The same spiritual master. He destroyed himself. While Ishwara Puri got a promotion, Ramachandra Puri got demotion. The same spiritual master. Not that he gave him the same Hare Krishna mantra he gave to both of them. What is the problem? The problem is our mentality. Do we qualify for that kind of association, or just want to make a show? That is dangerous. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada said, to have a guru is not a fashion. Tasmat Guru Prabhupada Gigyasu Sriya Uttamam. Gigyasu Gigyasa Sriya Uttamam. When our interest is what? Gigyasu Sriya Uttamam. We are very inquisitive, Prabhupada said. Now we're inquisitive. The word inquisitive here is not just like a scout. Not that. Inquisitive here means that now one has finished all material business, and now he's very serious, also very, very serious. And Krishna consciousness very attached to that. Very, very attached. Now what remains? What remains for this devotee is only Krishna consciousness, that person will be moving on. Like no problem. Because this devotee has done all the necessary homework in the past. Now it's like a revision. Like a revision for the devotee. Such situation is very, very rare. So we should be careful with what we have and how to apply what we have. Because we are going to get what we deserve. We mentioned the other day to devotees, as we are praying seriously to Krishna, we should also check if we merit it. Not just talking, not just desiring something. I want to ride the Rolls Royce. Do I have the money? Do I have money to buy it? We should check that. We should look at that. And that is Christian consciousness, being introspective. Very, very important. So we are so happy we have such a wonderful facilities, teachings, and a feast in our movement. We should know how to relish the nectar. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Maharaj. Very rightly said by you, Maharaj. I was reading a lot of sections from this book today, and I found it's such a wonderful book, all the writings of Bhakti Dhira Maharaj. Just one paragraph is so deep, you can meditate on it for a long, long time.
Yes, yes.
And the last point which you mentioned, Maharaj, was also, I found it very striking, that sometimes, though we have the very good fortune of meeting a pure devotee of Krishna, very exalted soul, but we sometimes, instead of trying to serve that relationship, we try to enjoy that relationship, or without deserving much into it, we try to take lot out from it. So I think that is also very important, that we should be very careful and we should not forget where we are coming from. Though the mercy might have come to us, but where are we coming from and what is our background? Then
Yes.
there will be less chances that will come with offenses.
Yes.
So we'll end here, Maharaj, if you allow. Thank you so much, Maharaj, for last 4 Saturdays. You have taken out time for these sessions, and so many devotees got benefited. And I can say I got the maximum benefit by getting an association here, online live association. Thank you so much, Maharaj, for all the time. And please forgive if we ask something wrong or we asked in a wrong way. So kindly excuse our offenses for these references.
There is nothing wrong here. There is it's all wonderful. Actually, it is you I should thank. I should thank for bringing this a brilliant idea, topic. It's something. This is a very powerful service for devotees. I wish all of us can take full advantage of what our acharyas have given to us here, and make use of it and perfect our life in Christian consciousness. So we thank you for giving us this opportunity to share something.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Hare Krishna. So on behalf of all our viewers, we would like to thank His Holiness Bhakti Dhira Damodara Maharaj once again. Thank you so much, Maharaj. And hopefully in future, we'll again come up with such discussions on different topics. Also, would like to thank all our viewers for being with us for these last 4 sessions, which we had on Guru-disciple relationship. Everyone who are watching it today and who have been seeing before or who watched the recordings, thank you very, very, very much. For any inconvenience which might be caused to you because of our operation, technical operation, or the facilitation, big forgiveness. Before we end, I would like to thank Shantal Mataji. She had been operating from the background, technically doing for all the 4 sessions. So thank you so much, Mataji. And there's a book by Srila Prabhupada. It's a conversation. It calls Perfect Questions, Perfect Answers. So I can say maybe in this case, my questions were not so perfect. They were imperfect questions, but Maharaj's answers were all very perfect. So thank you, Maharaj, for all those perfect answers. Now we'll end here with a short video on the book Spiritual Connection, authored by Maharaj. If anyone interested in a copy of this book, you can contact on the details that will be mentioned in the video. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Bhakti Dhira Swami Maharaj ki jai, Srila Bhakti Dhira Damodara Swami Maharaj ki jai, Samast Vaishnava Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
𝐶𝐸𝐴𝐺𝐸